If you're in a negotiated bid environment, you know that being the lowest bidder isn't critical when it comes to winning work. So that means you have to hone and refine your sales skills if you're going to be successful. And most construction professionals have a background that comes from building projects, and yet they find themselves in sales positions. And so whether you're an estimator, a PM, or even an executive, selling can at times feel uncomfortable and frustrating. And it can lead, because of a lack of experience, to a lot of winging it. I spoke to a client recently doing millions in revenue, but their sales process was completely unstructured. And another guy I know admitted, I didn't even know there was a method of selling. It's kind of like throw a number out there and hope for the best. So if that sounds familiar, this podcast episode today is for you. This is Eric Anderton, and you're listening to Construction Genius, a leadership masterclass. Thomas Edison said that genius is 1% inspiration and 99% perspiration. If you're a construction leader, you know all about the perspiration, and this show is all about the 1% inspiration that you can add to your hard work to help you to improve your leadership. In negotiated work, you rarely lose because of price. You lose because you don't know how to sell. And your sales process lacks structure or clarity, and you lack confidence. And I want you to be convinced that you can actually structure your sales process to increase the likelihood of you winning the right projects with the right clients in the right locations. Here are 5 key behaviors that define people who win when it comes to construction sales. Number 1, prospecting. What does that mean? Think about the old prospectors back in the day. They would go out into the hills with a pick in their hand and dig for gold. They wouldn't find the gold by sitting in their tent. They had to get out of the tent and go and find it. And so you have to be engaging with your target audience. You have to know where your target audience is or who your target audience is, and then you have to get out there. You get out there via social media marketing. You get out there via phone calls, by responding to requests for a proposal. You get out there by good old-fashioned cold calling. What does that mean? It means you get off your seat, you get into your car or your truck, you drive out to where your clients are, you walk in the door, and you say, hey, who's in charge of who's going to get assigned to winning and building this project? You've got to identify who those people are, and you must be willing to get out there and talk to them. The next one is closing. It's really interesting. What does closing mean? It means asking for the job or asking to be able to take the next step in the sales process. Closing can be something that people are uncomfortable with because you can get rejected when you close. You may want a yes and someone may give a no. You just may feel uncomfortable asking people to do something. But in sales, you have to become comfortable with closing. Ask for the job. Don't just assume or hope that they're going to pick you. The next behavior that you have to really look at is call reluctance. And it goes hand in hand with prospecting, which I mentioned earlier. Do you lack a desire to call people? I'll tell you what, don't be surprised if you do. Many sales type people, they spend all their time organizing their calendar, organizing their desk, doing anything except what they're paid to do, and that is selling. And that may be particularly true for you when you don't think of yourself as a salesperson. You're a construction professional. You're a builder. You're not one of those sleazy guys who pushes used cars, but really you must have that mindset shift. You are in sales. And in sales, one of your prime responsibilities is to be willing to make calls. Then you have to be a self-starter. Great salespeople don't have to be told what to do. They get out there and do it. Think about when is your energy levels the best to be able to handle all of the rejection that you might face. You've got to figure that out because it does require a lot of energy and a lot of effort. And another thing you have to think about as you are going through the selling process, as it's related to self-starting, is when are your potential clients most likely to be in the office so that you can interact with them. You don't want to be showing up to someone's office on a Friday afternoon if they're never going to be there. Structure your week to maximize the opportunity to have great conversations. And again, you may be thinking, what's this self-starting stuff that you're talking about? I can self-start on a project, but sales, that's a little bit different. I'm uncomfortable with that. So let me give you a little tip. Next time you're doing a job site visit, let's say you're a project manager, but you're also responsible for selling to one degree or another. As you're driving out to that project, think about where you can stop along the way and visit potential clients to have quick conversations with them about any work that might be coming up. And then the fifth behavior, and this is critical in construction, and I know this will resonate with you, is team selling. Construction is a team sport, from bidding the work to planning the work to building the work and often to getting paid. It's a team sport all along the way. And so if you want to maximize the possibility of you landing the work, talk to folks in your organization and get them all on the same page, driving towards that goal of landing the right job with the right clients in the right location. So make sure you're tapping into the genius in your organization to maximize the opportunities to win work. Think about the last time you promoted someone into a leadership role and it failed. Why did it fail? I can tell you one reason. People know how to build projects, but they don't know how to build and lead teams of people. Construction comes with its challenges that only insiders truly understand. Generic leadership training doesn't cut it. You need a program to train your leaders built specifically for construction professionals led by an industry expert. And my online course, The Shift, is exactly that course. It has 5 modules. It'll teach your people how to control their calendars and reduce stress and embrace chaos and accomplish their critical tasks. It will teach them the 3 essential messages they have to communicate every day in order to motivate and lead their team effectively. It'll show them how to build and lead a high-performing team, give them a framework for running effective meetings so they'll be able to solve problems in less than an hour, and also give them a higher perspective on their leadership that will enable them to work on the business and on their teams and not get stuck in the weeds micromanaging. So go out to my website, theshift.constructiongenius.com, read all about the course, and then enroll yourself and your leaders in the course, and I guarantee that it will transform your leadership. If it does not, you take the whole course and you didn't get benefit from it, you just send me an email, eric@constructiongenius.com, and I will cheerfully refund you 100% of your money. I'm really confident this course will transform your leadership. So again, go out to the website, theshift.constructiongenius.com, learn more about the course, and start taking it today. How can you maximize your opportunity? Well, set simple goals. So perhaps you're not selling every day, but you say on Tuesday and Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock, I'm going to spend some time either on the phone or in my car or my truck going to different places and making calls. Make a commitment and don't overcommit. Don't say I'm going to make 25 calls every day when you're not going to do that. Just make 5 to 10 calls every week, twice a week for a year. Develop your sales skills and see how the funnel of your opportunities begins to fill up. Another thing that a lot of people are frustrated with in construction sales is they give a number to a client or they respond to a client with a piece of information and then the client ghosts them or the potential client ghosts them. What do you do in that situation? What you do is you assert yourself and send a very straightforward email. And this is how I word that email. I'm assuming that since I haven't heard from you, you are not interested in us building your project. Notice the psychology of that email. You're not sending an email, just following up, hope you got my information, please contact me anytime you need any help. No, you're taking an assertive stand. You've given them something. Now you are requesting a response in return. And if there is no response, again, you send out that email. I'm assuming that since I haven't heard from you, you are not interested in working with us. And you say, Eric, I can't say that to my clients. They might get pissed off. Well, let me tell you, I use this kind of line all the time when I'm selling my services to folks just like you in construction. And I promise you that it works. And it works in 2 ways. Number one, if I send out an email like that and someone doesn't respond, I know that they're not serious about working with me and they're not interested in my services. And that's fine because I'm not desperate for clients. I know how to sell and I know how to fill my pipeline and I know how to take care of my clients. And as a result of that, if you don't want to work with me, that's okay. I'll find someone else who does. But the other response that I get when I send out that email is really interesting. People will reply to me and they'll say, oh, Eric, I'm sorry that I didn't get back to you. I'm very interested in working with you. I've just been busy and tied up with something. Can we talk next week? By sending out an email like that, you're positioning yourself in a place of authority, in a place of peer-to-peer selling, where you're not begging for work. And as a result of that, it enhances your stature in the mind of the person that you're selling to. So that's part of a mindset shift that you have to be able to lay hold of if you're going to be successful in sales. And I call that mindset shift, kings talk to kings. You have to think of yourself as a king, as someone noble. You're not a pauper. You're not a beggar. You're not a sleazy salesperson. You're an expert in problem solving. You're an expert in adding value. You can go into any sales environment with your head held high, there to solve problems, there to benefit the client. Now, as you're listening to this, if any of what I've just said is not true, then you know where you need to go to work in order to improve yourself so that you can truly go into any sales environment as a king and talk to kings. You're not lucky to be at the table. You belong there. You are an expert. You've solved problems before, and the problems that they have on their projects, you're going to help to solve those with clarity and competence. Think about this old way versus the new way when it comes to selling. The old way is that you submit a number and you hope for the best. The new way is that you engage with the clients before you submit anything and make sure there's a fit. The old way is you chase with the low number. You're submitting low numbers and hoping for the best. In the new way, you're leading with value. And again, you must understand how you solve problems and how you add value. The old way is you submit a bid and you get ghosted. The new way is you submit a bid and then you book in a debrief meeting with the client. You agree with them ahead of time. Hey, listen, I'm going to submit this bid, but I'm expecting that we're going to have a call the day after so that we can discuss the bid. The old way is you're reactive. Someone sends out a request for proposal, and then you react to that. The new way is you're proactive. You understand, right client, right job, right location. You have a list of your top 10 to 20 clients that you're going to go after. You understand who are the decision makers in each one of those clients, and you're developing your relationships with those folks on a consistent basis. You're proactive, not reactive. As you're listening to this podcast, you might be saying, Eric, construction sales is construction sales, right? I mean, we do our best at the end of the day. We submit our number, and if we submit enough numbers, we'll get enough work to keep our guys busy. Now think about CarMax. CarMax completely redefined the way that car sales works. You go in there, there's one price, there's no negotiation. You buy the car. If you don't like it, you can return it, and they give you your money back, no questions asked. That's completely different from your typical car buying experience. Now, it's interesting as we follow this CarMax analogy. Is CarMax a little more expensive than your typical car dealer? They probably are by maybe $1,000 or something like that. But I don't know about you. But for me, it's worth the extra money to go to CarMax and have no hassle and have all the friction removed in order to do business with them. Think about your sales processes when it comes to your construction company. Sit down and go through the process of thinking through how can we improve our sales process so it is more proactive, so it does set us up for success, so we are increasing the likelihood of us winning the work, so we're not wasting our time. And I've worked with construction professionals helping them with their sales development. One client, he used to wing it with no structure, just hoping. And after going through some training with me, it was tremendously helpful to get some structure, mindset, and new perspectives. They landed a multi-phase healthcare job, not by dropping their price, but by showing responsiveness, by answering questions with clarity, and showing up and taking leadership. I had another client who gained confidence to lead sales conversations, not just participate in them. I'll just put a quick plug in here from my book, Construction Genius. And this book is tremendously helpful in terms of sales. In fact, there's a couple of chapters in this book about sales. And I want you to buy the book on Amazon and check out Chapter 11. Sales is all about know, trust, like, and buy. And then Chapter 12, it'll give you some insights into marketing. And that's a key part of sales as well. It's more higher up in the sales funnel. So check out that book on Amazon, Construction Genius. And as we're talking about this, you have to be able to define your game when it comes to selling. Don't just follow the GC's process, shape it. So if you're a subcontractor and the GC has a process, think about it. Does their process fit in with the way I want to do business? How can I influence it? How can I say, wait a minute, GC. I'm a sub. You need me as much as I need you. Let's make sure that we're on the same page as far as the game that we're playing so that I can increase the likelihood of not only solving your problems and adding value, but actually winning the game and landing work with you. So how do you do that? Well, one of the ways that you do it is by asking for quid pro quos throughout the sales process. And what does quid pro quo mean? It simply means this for that. In sales, it's all about mutual exchange. So in a negotiated environment, one of the most powerful tools that you can use as you're going through the sales process is reciprocation. The idea that if you give them something, you should get something in return. You should never give anything without expecting something from them in return. Before sending a number, ask for something back. A debrief meeting with the decision makers, a follow-up commitment. Whenever you give, always remember to get something back. Robert Cialdini, in his research on influence, proves that this idea of reciprocation creates psychological pressure to return the favor. Make sure your potential clients understand that you're a king and you're going to treat them like a king, but if you give them something, you want something in return. You're not being pushy. You're acting like a peer, like a king talking to a king. When you ask, can we schedule a follow-up meeting before I send over our number, you're elevating your sales activity from being passive to being active. And that signals confidence and strength. It makes the buyer see you as not just another number, not just another sub, but as a project partner, someone that they want to work with. Selling is not a dirty word. It's how work gets built. You solve real problems and you guide people through your sales process to smart decisions. Selling done right is leadership. You need to transform the way that you approach sales, from winging it to owning it, from reactive to strategic, from hoping to closing. Let me give you some action items to improve the whole sales experience in your organization. Number 1, build a repeatable sales process. Number 2, make sure you're in alignment with your team on every sales opportunity, your internal team. 3rd, focus on the right clients with the right projects in the right locations. Number 4, quid pro quo. Make sure that whenever you give them something, you get something in return. And then number 5, build the projects on time with high quality, taking care of the needs of your clients. When you build work right, you're selling the next project that you're going to build. You're selling the GC on it. You're selling the client on it. You're building your reputation. Everything you do every single day, whether you're planning work, building work, or getting paid, is actually a sales activity. If your team needs some help with getting in front of the right people and making sure that they're presenting themselves as those kings, getting those quid pro quos, showing up in such a way that it increases the likelihood of you winning the right projects with the right clients in the right locations, reach out to me. In the show notes is a link to my calendar. You can just click on the link. We can have a very brief call and figure out if or how I can help you with the sales training of the folks in your organization. And remember, everyone in your organization, to one extent or another, is in sales. And so estimators, PMs, executives, they can all be involved in sales training. And of course, even your business development people. Hope you found this helpful and useful. And I wish you all the best as you go out and land work with the right clients in the right locations. Hi, this is Eric. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, found it insightful and helpful. I have a quick request. Please share the episode with other people in your company and across the industry that you think would benefit from listening to it. And also, give the podcast a rating and review wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, YouTube, wherever it may be. Drop us a like, drop us a comment on YouTube. Do what you can to spread the good word about the Construction Genius podcast. I really appreciate any help that you can give me, and I look forward to catching you on the next episode. Thank you for listening to this episode of Construction Genius. Hope you found that 1% of inspiration to help you in the next few days. If you like the show, please give us a 5-star review on iTunes, share it with other construction leaders who you think would benefit, and always remember that the show is brought to you by Kick-Ass Meetings. I've been working with construction leaders since 2004, teaching them how to run extremely effective problem-solving meetings that gets their people collaborating, taps into their creativity. And to get yourself a free copy of the Kick-Ass Meeting Report, go to www.ericanderton.com/kickassmeetings. Grab yourself that free report, read it, use it in your business. You'll find it extremely useful. And thanks again for listening.